In this video, I speak about access list in HAProxy. We know HAProxy make decision based on the content of the URL or URI. But what is this content? We can fetch data from the URL or URI, and based on those data can switch on the content. For example, it can say if path is first, go to the first server. If path is 2, go to the second server. Let's go and see what is it. In this scenario, I have 3 backend servers. By default, and those applications in running in this port. First one is running on my backend server IP address on port 8010. The second one on my backend server on port 8020, and the third 8030. As we can test here, we can see here in my backend server on port 8010 is my application, 20 is auth application, and 30 is image application. Also, I have an API on port 40. But I can't say to the end user, use this port for application. I have to use one IP address and redirect based on the requested path. I have to say if my end user in the path ask for application, redirect to my application. If on the path end user ask for image, or redirect for image, and by default use to authentication. Here we can see the configuration. As you can see, I have 3 backend servers. First one, second, and third. And also, I'm running my HAProxy on port 80 on all IP addresses. And I have 3 conditions. By default, I'm using authentication application. I said, at first, use my application, use this backend if this condition is true. And what is this condition? This condition said, if path begin with application, and that means this is my IP address, on port 80, and this is the path. I'm saying if path begin with app, this condition will be true, and redirect to the my application with this IP and port. In the second one, with different syntax, I'm saying use my application with this IP and port if this condition with different syntax, if path begin with image. That means if it's instead of app begin with image, this condition will be true and will redirect to this server. If none of them become true, we will use the default backend, which is auth application, and this is that. Let's go and see. This is file 17, sudo HAProxy -f file 17.1, and if here I ask for 21, nothing. By default, authentication application will answer me. If I ask for app, my application will answer me. If I ask for image application will answer me.